What's up, guys? This is Justin. I'm here with Sam.
Hail and well met, Justin.
And this is the Hobbit trailer number 3.
The best one.
Yeah, I actually agree. I think it's my favorite one as well.
Yeah, it recycles a few scenes in the early parts of this trailer, but once it gets to the later parts, there's some really cool stuff. And right from the start, there's kind of a voiceover that you won't hear during this Rewind Theater, so I was going to read a couple lines of it, if you don't mind. But it's Bard the Bowman, and he's actually talking about when the king of the Lonely Mountain will come back, right?
Right.
And he says, his wealth shall flow in fountains, and the rivers golden run, the streams shall run in gladness, the lake shall shine and burn. All these lines in the book can be taken as, man, is the lake going to be set on fire, or is it going to be running with gold? Like,
right,
it's hard to
ambiguous in the book whether like this is a good thing or a bad thing.
And they also don't even know if it's, so if you rewind a little bit, that little patch, which is so cool.
Yeah, it is really
They
cool.
don't even really trust if he is Thror's son, or Thrain's son for that matter yet. You know, because Thror was the last king that was. So you can see this family lineage here.
Yeah, it's a whole family
you can
tree.
see
But
Thrain
it's not
is
a
his
tree.
father. And Thorin, you know, they don't really know. I
Right.
love that image of Thorin there. I think that's really cool.
I know, it's fantastic.
But yeah, I think they're going to be a discussion of his family lineage, and eventually the master of the town trusts him enough to send them on to the
And so, yeah, this song that, and first of all, I love that they bring back all the songs and poems that are such a big part of the book, and they just didn't have time for in Lord of the Rings, so I love that they bring that back. But in the book, it's very ambiguous. Like, yeah, is the river going to be running red because of fire, because it's going to be overflowing with gold?
But this Bard is making it clear that he thinks it means it's going to be bad stuff, so you can see him in a few scenes just like,
obviously
trying to dissuade the men from letting the dwarves go to the Lonely Mountain.
Nice shot of
it's a cool eyeball opening.
Yeah, of Smaug's sort of
I
eye.
think this is from the first Hobbit, at the very end of the first Hobbit movie. Actually, this isn't the same scene. But
yeah, so it's a little bit different. But I like that he's buried, and we're going to see this more clearly later, but he's like buried himself under his treasure.
King beneath the mountain.
Yeah, you can see how tiny, or how big his eye is.
People on the boat there on the lake.
We've already seen this scene. They're approaching the Lonely Mountain. So here's Bard, and he's retelling that song.
Played by Luke Evans.
This is my favorite new shot, actually. This is Lake Town. It looks so cool. Like, it's so much more built up than you'd expect it to be.
Yeah, I like it a lot, too. It's still obviously...
looks very flammable.
Yeah, yes. Maybe even with the dragon around, they should...
So this is kind of cool. Right back here, that's actually the master of Lake Town.
On the right.
With the blonde hair. And you don't see much of him in the trailer, but he's kind of a greedy guy. And he's really interested in having the dwarves go take care of that dragon and bring back gold.
Yep, and he's played by Stephen Fry, a new character for this second movie. And so it's interesting to see, the opinion of the Master of Lake Town and the Bard the Bowman, sort of the difference between them.
Yeah, I think they're going to be kind of opposing figures. So here's some cool shots.
This shot, by
and they're kind of doing this over the lake shall shine and burn line of the poem.
It just shows what makes it Lake Town, right? Like, it really feels like Venice, or sort of a crummier version of like a nice lake town, lakeside city.
Totally. If you saw, there was that shot of Gandalf back there too, behind bars, and I was wondering if we're about to get to it.
Yeah.
I was wondering if he's actually imprisoned here because way before the events of The Hobbit, when he gets the key and map that he gives to Thorin in The Hobbit, he actually gets it from the dungeons of the pits of Dol Guldur from Thrain,
and
Thorin's
he does.
father.
You see that he's been in a fight. He's all bloodied up.
Yeah, so I think they might show way in the past flashback here, which would be awesome.
Yeah,
be really cool to see. But we know there's other battles that take place in Dol Guldur too. So, because Gandalf is, apart from the whole party for this movie.
Right.
To that mountain.
Here's a conversation we've seen before with with Bard telling him not to go.
I like this shot. I think this one's new. I mean, we've seen establishing shots of...
Yeah, but I don't think we saw the hobbits on the mountain before.
Exactly.
And if we did, we're sorry. But yeah, this is the Desolation of Smaug, which actually is the town of Dale.
I really like... We've seen Ruined Dale before, but I like this shot where it seems like this is when the dwarves sort of first discover it and first come upon it. And I think it's great.
The Desolation of Smaug.
Yeah, it's a nice contrast to the other scenes in the movie. So here is, I'm telling you, if you rewind a little bit here, if you watch these scenes on your computer, you might not be able to see in the proper contrast, like how much is going on here, because I thought the trailer ended up really dark, actually.
Yeah.
But there's some cool stuff. This is Bilbo creeping down the passageways and first coming upon the treasure hoard of Smaug. When he goes in here, he steals a little cup, and then he comes back to the dwarves. This is a cool part of the book, and this is him kind of exploring by himself. He's not wearing his ring in this scene either.
Like, look at this treasure hoard. Look at how immense it is, and sort of the conceit is that Smaug knows every single piece of treasure that's in there.
Yes, if a dragon can tell if an ounce is missing of his of his treasure, Tolkien says.
And this treasure hoard is, I mean, I don't know how I pictured it when I was a kid when I first read The Hobbit, but, you know, it's just so nuts to see it here and know that Smaug, based on that establishing shot earlier, is hiding underneath this somewhere.
Yeah. So if you see this is the key I was just talking about, the key that opens the door, the back door to the Lonely Mountain.
Right there.
He's holding it there.
His hand.
And you can see the next scene, the door opening from the inside, which is a really cool little shot.
The sort of secret door that's in the side of the mountain.
Look how thick it is, too.
Yep, it's really cool.
Dwarven style. So there's kind of a subplot that we don't know much about going on in this movie with the elves of Mirkwood versus the goblins slash orcs. And here we see, like, you know, Legolas, Orlando Bloom's character, and other people and stuff, like, you know, just fighting with the orcs. And here they are actually pursuing the dwarves as they escape.
It sort of seems like... So, I don't know. We're spoiling the movie, right?
Yeah.
So they get captured by these elves. And it's not necessarily that they're evil elves. They're kind of evil, but it's more just the animosity between the dwarves and the elves. Right. The elves capture them, and then they escape in these barrels. And again, we don't know for sure where these fighting scenes fit in. It seems like the orcs are just kind of there while they're escaping, right? Because that's not that's an orc.
Yeah. Yeah, well, actually...
Or is that an elf?
Yeah, that's an elf, I think.
Okay. Never mind. Yeah, you're right.
However, no, but to make it more confusing, that shot was Orlando Bloom as Legolas in Lake Town.
Yeah.
Like, what is he, a bounty hunter? Has he been sent after the dwarves to follow them?
Maybe sent to get them back.
Well, and there are, in the book, there is actually elves in Lake Town, and they're like, hey, you know, these are our prisoners. So maybe he's going to be part of the representatives of this.
That's true. And it is just an excuse to bring
not part of this world.
as well.
Yeah, and these are a couple of quick shots that we've seen some of them and we haven't, but the elves attacking the dwarves.
It's so cool how they're climbing
This
up
is
the
the
stairs.
greatest thing. The Colossus at the entrance to the Lonely Mountain. You can see the staircase at the side. We saw this before, but there's a cool shot at the end of this sequence, which we haven't seen yet, which I wanted to point
the
out.
other angle
Look
right
at that, the head.
That's so cool.
Yeah, just a silhouette of the great head. And you can see Dale in the back. Really, really neat shot. This is a shot of the throne that of the king's under the mountain's throne. Yeah, and the Arkenstone's missing from it. It's kind of funny. You see him kind of hit a lever and pop it out.
Yeah.
At the very beginning of the first time. So the hobbits and dwarves have a lot of discussions in the entrance tunnel there. You see a lot of that in this trailer.
I think that might have been a new shot. I can't remember
exactly. Yeah, this is. So them actually battling their way out in barrels. Like, this is total Peter Jackson original stuff. They were sneaking out originally.
Yep. They didn't notice very quietly until almost later. It's a very, very cool shot of Evangeline Lilly. What's her character's name?
Tariel.
Tariel fighting, where she almost can predict what's going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
We'll get to that in a second.
That's how elves always are, right? They're so graceful in their movements, but somehow they can still be killed. This is funny. There's a couple of elf battling scenes here, but look at that shot of the spiders there. We hadn't seen that yet. That's really cool. Or maybe we had, but yeah, just like a really nice shot of spiders. Mm-hmm. They haven't shown many spider scenes, and we know that's going to be a big battle in the book. There's an elf blowing a horn there, which is kind of funny. But that shot of Dol Guldur is probably my second favorite thing besides the Dale scene in the trailer. Look how cool that looks.
More Radagast there.
Yep, so he's going to be back in this movie, and they're going to be talking about
I'm curious to see how much he's in it. My guess is probably not as much as the first one, but I guess we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. A lot more.
So at some point during this spider battle, based on the very opening shot of this trailer, we didn't stop on it.
Yeah.
You'll see it again at the end. Bilbo loses his ring.
Yeah, I thought that was a little strange difference. So you know what? We got a correction last time we watched this. We didn't know where this was from. This is supposedly the goblins getting their army ready at Mount Gundabad before the Battle of the Five Armies.
Got it. So they're sort of preparing. They're gearing up.
Like, we thought this might be from one of the earlier movies, or the later movies, technically. But yeah, from the Lord of the Rings movies. But it's not. It's from the Hobbit.
That makes sense. So it's sort of more preparation for the battle to come.
This is a shot of Dol Guldur we've seen a few times. If you rewind right here, this is Balin right before the scene. I like this. When he stopped. Look at this big black sword. It looks really cool. Orcrist, I think is the sword. I can't remember. Balin has a couple touching conversations with Bilbo, and it's because Balin actually goes with Bilbo into the tunnel, and none of the other dwarves will.
Right. Balin's great. I mean, he's all over this trailer, and I hope that this means one of the complaints of the first Hobbit is that all the dwarves sort of blended together, and there wasn't very many character moments for each of them. And I hope that this trailer, with these great Balin moments, means that they are gonna, their personalities are gonna come through, and each get a few hero moments.
Yeah, totally.
If this is to end in fire.
Now, these are shots, interestingly, of Smaug from the very first movie. So this is like from the fighting scenes with Smaug outside of Dale.
Oh, is that
in
true?
the
They're
first? Yeah,
reused.
this is old Dale, and this is reused.
Got it.
Burn together.
There you see.
Yeah, so this is interesting. You can see dead spiders.
Yeah, it looks like it's just a little story beat. And if you were to piece it together, you know, at the very, very beginning of this trailer, he finds the ring and is so happy. You know, he just loses it somewhere along the way and make things look.
Can you
There's
rewind
the
it?
scene. This is the one where like she can sort of predict or knows what's about to happen.
Can you go a little bit before this too? I can't tell what's going on here, but I can see that there's Gandalf with like his little lit up torch thing. So
He's probably
I
exploring
assume it's
underneath.
exploring the
Yeah.
crypts. Because I know like there's like this like Witch King tomb exploration sequence that happens too. But it looks great. Like I think this looks
there someone
really
with
cool.
him?
Yeah, I mean I think it might be Radagast.
Yeah,
I
it's
can't
very
tell.
tiny even on our big screen.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is, I mean, some people might complain that this is a little bit cartoony, but I thought it was a really neat action beat.
Yeah. Big mace being swung.
Yeah.
Orlando Bloom looking a little bit fuller of face.
Got the elves.
Yeah, and this, again, is all in our last trailer, so please check that out. Look up Rewind Theater Hobbit trailer, and we've done 3.
Yeah. Oh, we got another.
I love this.
Yeah.
So this is, that's the Hobbits,
Get
or sorry,
beyond,
not the Hobbits, the Dwarves and the Hobbit falling out of the cellar into the barrels, which is great. Is that funny?
It's just a great shot.
Yeah, like he's accidentally stumbled upon it and fell backwards through it.
Yeah.
It never ceases to
And of course, we also saw Beorn chasing them into his own domain.
And so here again, we're sort of seeing. We don't know exactly what happens or what the story beats are, but it seems like that Bilbo doesn't even know that Smaug's there, or doesn't know where he is, and then he sort of realizes, oh no, he's been underneath me.
Look at
this
the
whole
contours
time.
of his face moving here.
I know, it's fantastic.
That's really neat. You can see where his eye slit is there.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's the cup that Bilbo steals to bring back originally to the dwarves.
And we still don't know, and we speculated in our second Rewind Theater that he's probably not wearing the ring just for story purposes. Just, so he's not invisible during a whole sequence of the book, but it is a little strange.
Now, he could also be only visible during the part in which he steals the cup, but then he becomes invisible and Smaug talks to him. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
These are the best shots we've really seen of Smaug here. And again, they're a little bit dark, but that shot of his neck moving and his head going under the
you really get a sense of how
really cool.
just massive he is.
Yeah. Yeah, they're doing a good job teasing this.
Yep.
And of course, it ends with Benedict Cumberbatch saying that, as Smaug, saying he is the king under the mountain. And I thought that was a nice touch.
Yeah. I've noticed, and again, we don't have the audio turned up as we're recording right now, but I think they've continued to tweak his voice. It sounded a little bit different than it did in the second trailer, and that was just, not even a couple months ago. So, maybe not, but maybe it's my imagination, but I feel like they're still continuing to work on it.
Cool. Well, thanks for checking out this trailer with me.
Yep.
Again, well, I hope there's one more before the movie comes out, but we don't know yet.
Yeah, definitely. Everybody at home, I hope we sort of showed you some things in this trailer that you didn't see the first time that you watched it. If we did miss any little details or you have any more corrections, thank you for everybody that pointed out, some of the little tiny details.
Yeah, we love
got wrong in the
corrections,
second one.
Don't be a jerk about it, but we want to hear about it. Clearly, we put a lot of time into these, I want to know more about it. So, yeah, let us know.
For sure. So let us know in the comments, the things we got right, the things that you noticed in this trailer. And, for everything Hobbit and just nerd stuff in general, you can keep it locked to IGN.